We're doing a live mock draft coming right up. And what is up, everyone? Welcome to the Gridiron Fantasy Football YouTube channel. And today we're going to do a live mock draft. Today's going to be a half PPR 12-team draft. And the reason why I want to do this is because I feel like this is going to help see what we all go through when it comes to mock drafts, the thought process on, when we go into the drafts, we always have a plan on guys that we want to get. Now, unless you're in an auction draft, this is more evident because you can pay for any player you want. But when it comes to a snake draft, you can never predict on what league mates will do. So it's a good way to practice. And today I'm going to show you my first mock draft of the season and kind of go through the process of why I pick certain players. But let's go in now and let's start the draft. And right now we're at the 5th pick overall, right? So, it's one of those things where you just never know what to expect. We can either get a top running back or a top wide receiver in that pick, especially when it's 12 teams. But the draft started and we see Christian McCaffrey as the number 1 pick. That's going to be the most obvious pick, I think, in a lot of drafts, is seeing Christian McCaffrey as the number 1 overall pick. I've seen different drafts where Patrick Mahomes was number 1, Derrick Henry has been number 1, but more than likely you're going to see Christian McCaffrey as the number 1 guy. So with that being the case, we got Derrick Henry 2nd, Saquon Barkley 3rd, Dalvin Cook 4th. Now it's my pick at 5. Now, what I like about this is that I'm a huge Alvin Kamara fan. I've had him every single year. This is an easy pick for me. Now, hopefully we'll know more about the quarterback position in New Orleans, but I still think Alvin Kamara is a focal point of that offense. We may see a little regression in his receptions and possibly that whole offense in general, but it's hard to pass up Alvin Kamara in the PPR league. So Alvin Kamara will be my pick first, and then kind of going on, I feel like this is exactly what I feel like you're going to see a lot of drafts happen, right? You're going to see the top, 5 to 8 running backs going off the board first. Then you're going to see, a couple wide receivers, and you might see the top tight end and then the top quarterback. You just never know. But the way this draft started is pretty an ideal, expectation of what you may see in your actual drafts and redraft leagues. Davante Adams was the first wide receiver taken, which that's very surprising. We don't know about Aaron Rodgers yet, so we'll see what happens if he decides to play. But, Davante Adams to me is a guy that I'm kind of a huge caution on. If it was my pick and I was taking the first wide receiver, it's going to be Tyreek Hill, but he went 2nd overall. And then you go back to running back, Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler. Then you see Travis Kelce as the first tight end taken, which that's going to be obvious. Now it's back on my turn at the 2-8. Now, this is where I have the option to either go running back or wide receiver. But because it's a half PPR league, I have a good pick here. I think Joe Mixon by far is a good, solid pick. I like that over a DK Metcalf or Antonio Gibson. So for me, I'm going to try to go ahead. My goal is to try to get Joe Mixon here and Justin Jefferson on the flip around. So we'll see what happens here if I can get that. So I'm going to draft Joe Mixon and see what happens here. Yeah, George Kittle. You got Gibson. Nope. So Jefferson's off the board for me. So now I got it. Now do I go another running back or do I get one of the top wide receivers? Now this is going to be a tough one because I think I have 2 good running backs. DeAndre Swift I think could possibly be a very good undervalued pick or a big value pick here, but I just don't want to trust that Lions offense right now. New coach, new offense. You got Jared Goff as the quarterback now, so I don't know how I feel about the offense. Now going to wide receiver, this is the problem. I have the option to pick Michael Thomas or Keenan Allen. Now, when I construct my roster, I really don't like having 2 players from the same team. Now, if Drew Brees was here, I think this would be an obvious pick for me. But this is why I'm kind of struggling on what I want to do here. Because I feel like if it's Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill, I do think that it's going to be Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara most of the time. So it might be safe here to get a guy like Michael Thomas. But I'm going to do the unexpected, and I'm going to take Keenan Allen. I like Keenan Allen. I think the reason why Keenan Allen is a good pick here because Justin Herbert, he's a sending player. They got, they didn't re-sign Hunter Henry, so I think that's more targets for him and for Mike Williams. So I like Keenan Allen over Mike Thomas this year. And we'll see what happens. I mean, this is why you do mock drafts. You have to go through the process and think about what you want to do. If you have two guys that you're not sure you want to do, I think taking Keenan Allen over Michael Thomas is not a bad pick. I think that, looking at what happened in the mock draft already, Terry McLaurin went over him, and then you had DeAndre Swift, and then David Montgomery. Then Michael Thomas was drafted at the 3-9. So, I know this is computer generated, but I still feel like I made a good pick with Keenan Allen. Now it's my pick again at the 4-8. Looking at what's available, we have a few wide receivers and running backs off the board. So now I have my choice of going another running back or going wide receiver, and looking at what's available at wide receiver. Got Julio Jones, the top guy there. I have Keenan Allen as my other guy. Teaming Keenan Allen up with Julio Jones, I don't think it's a bad bet at all. I like CeeDee Lamb a lot. But when it comes to talent and opportunity and offense, I like the Titans more than I like the opportunity for Julio Jones, because he's going to be pretty much the Corey Davis in that offense. He's going to have over 20% of the target share. I like that. But when it comes to Dallas, you have, Amari Cooper. Even though I think CeeDee Lamb is the most talented wide receiver of that group, you still got to deal with what's going to happen with target share with Amari Cooper, with Michael Gallup, Zeke Elliott, and then if Blake Jarwin is the tight end there, or Dalton Schultz. We have target shares there that need to be distributed. So I'm going to take Julio Jones. I think that he's playing with a better offense. I think he's playing with a younger quarterback with a stronger arm. So I'm going to take Julio Jones here at the 4-8. And hopefully, see what happens on the turnaround. But now I'll have to figure out what's going to be the best available when it comes to running back or wide receiver. Kareem Hunt got taken. CeeDee Lamb got taken. We've seen now Kelsey, Kittle, Waller, and Andrews taken. When it comes to tight end, I like Kyle Pitts. I mean, he's a guy that's been pretty high up there. He's been, ranked 5th overall in most rankings. So I don't think that's a bad pick. I think TJ Hawkinson can have a massive season because of the target share that's now, you have Marvin Jones going on to Jacksonville. Kenny Galladay went to New York. So TJ Hawkinson is a really, good pick here based on target share and what he's going to get in that offense. But let's see. We got running back. With Travis Etienne, I just don't really like him right now because of the James Robinson situation. The fact that he's ranked higher than James Robinson is kind of, that's kind of dumb to me. Chase Edmonds. I think there's a lot of running backs here that I can probably sneak onto my roster. So I'm going to go wide receiver here. And let's see. I got Adam Thielen, Deontay Johnson, Cooper Kupp, and Tyler Lockett. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick up, Adam Thielen for my wide receiver 3. I mean, why not? He's a guy that I can put in my flex, or I can, use to, to sub in, on bye week. So that's not a bad bet at all. So I'm going to go ahead and take Adam Thielen here. Justin Jefferson obviously is the number 1 guy there, but I think that Adam Thielen is still my third wide receiver. Adam Thielen is still a good pick. Now I'm thinking about going running back or tight end, because now we're in the 6th round here. So my options, let's see. In quarterback, I'm not going to go in quarterback because in a 1 quarterback league, you don't need to get a quarterback until super late. There's good value there throughout the whole entire draft. And sometimes most people stream quarterbacks, so I'm going to go ahead and look elsewhere. Tight end wise, not really a guy that I really need to have. Wide receiver, there are definitely some good options here. Running back. Okay, so I'm gonna draft Mike Davis here. The Atlanta Falcons have the most unaccounted for touches in the league. I think Mike Davis here, he's going to be very undervalued. I think he's going to be a good guy you can get for super cheap. Depending on when your drafts are, he's a guy that did very well when Christian McCaffrey was out, and he is in a decent enough offense where the Falcons have a top 5 offense. So with that being the case, I'm going to take Mike Davis here. It's a good pick. So now I got 3 really good running backs where I can, interchange, Adam Thielen or Mike Davis in my flex, because the setup is got 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a flex, and a starting defense, and 6 bench spots. So that's how this roster is set up in a 12-team league. So now going to my pick at the 7-5. Now I can either go wide receiver or running back. Here it's all about what you can get, because the better depth you have on your team, the better trade pieces you're going to have for if injuries happen or whatnot. So running back wise, there's some picks here. Like I do like Leonard Fournette a lot. I think in most drafts I would take Leonard Fournette over Ronald Jones, just because when Ronald Jones was hurt, Leonard Fournette really stepped up during the playoffs and during the Super Bowl and got re-signed. So I think Leonard Fournette, in my personal opinion, is going to be the starter over Ronald Jones. But looking at wide receiver, there's still a lot of good value here. So I like Deebo Samuel a lot. Devontae Smith, I'm just not a big fan right now. Rookie wide receivers, especially on a team that just drafted Jalen Reagor last year. They're going through a new coach, new offense, all that. I kind of shy away from teams like that. But looking at what's available here, I think Deebo Samuel is a good value pick here. So I'm going to pick up Deebo Samuel now and then go from there. We got Noah Fant and Dallas Goedert being taken at the tight end position. Russell Wilson. Leonard Fournette got taken. So I think Leonard Fournette's going to be taken. I wouldn't have an opportunity to get Leonard Fournette, but I felt like I got 3 really good running backs. Or I got 2 really good, we know what you're getting running backs, and Mike Davis is that possibility of being a top fantasy guy this year, or a top, he could finish he has potential to be the top, a top 12 running back this year. Now looking at my roster now, now this is where I can think about possibly maybe a tight end, maybe getting another running back just to have some depth. I got 4 wide receivers. And when it comes to James Conner, he's sharing the backfield with Chase Edmonds. I like Chase Edmonds a lot this year. Now Trey Sermon, this is a guy to keep your eye out for, just because he's a guy that the 49ers like, and a running back in the 49ers offense is always produces, no matter who's back there. It's all about the hot hand. Now, do you want to take a flyer on a guy like that? You got guys like Gus Edwards. Devin Singletary, I think, is not going to be the starter. I think Zach Moss will be the starter here. Now, if you're trying to get ahead of some of these rookie running backs, look at the wide receiver. There's still a bunch of guys that you can take here. So I'm going to go ahead and actually, I'm going to take Michael Carter. He's a guy that's low on the radar for the New York Jets. I know they're going through a lot of, process of new head coach, new offense, but Michael Carter is one of those guys where he's going as a lead back. So he's a guy that I feel like will potentially be a guy that we're going to be trying to go for on the waiver wire if he's not picked up any drafts. But he's a starting running back, so I think he will be drafted. He will not be. If you leave a draft with Michael Carter not on a roster, then either you're outsmarted your whole entire league, or you just with guys who just don't know a lot about depth and players. So I think that's a good pick there. Now looking at what's available, Will Fuller, Brandon Cooks, Taylor Boyd, Trey Sermon went at the 8-12. James Conner went right after him on the swing around. Now looking at, I got how many more picks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks. So now you're just going based on depth. A tight end. Now this is where I feel like, okay, what's the best available? So running back wise, don't really think I really necessarily need a running back. Anybody you're going to draft right now at running back position are going to be backups. Wide receiver, you potential here. You got potential Jalen Waddle doing something with the Miami Dolphins, but you still got Devontae Parker. You still got Preston Wilson. So it's just one of those things where, is he going to be a guy that will, as a rookie, develop and be a guy that's fantasy relevant? We don't know yet. I like Laviska Shenault. I think he's a guy that can be really good in that offense with Trevor Lawrence. So thinking about this, I'm going to go ahead and go for a tight end. I'm going to go for, I think Logan Thomas had a very good season last year. He's under the radar, in my opinion. So he has a late bye week, week 9, so that's not bad. You have Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's a gunslinger. So I'm going to take Logan Thomas here at the 9-5. And then now I have pretty much all my starters, picked other than my quarterback. So now it's about best player available and now building on depth and see what's available. I'm going to wait and see what's available when it comes to quarterback. Right now, we still got Baker Mayfield, Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins, Carson Wentz. So we're getting slim pickings here on at the quarterback position. I do like Baker Mayfield. He plays in a tough division, but I do like Baker Mayfield. Justin Fields, to me, he's unknown. Kirk Cousins, I don't know if he's a guy that I really want to, I'm not going to waste a draft pick on him right now when there's other players I think are a lot better out there. So looking at the wide receiver and running back, let's see. I already have Keenan Allen, so it pretty much takes Mike Williams off the roster for me. Devontae Parker. Let's see. Antonio Brown, Marvin Jones, Rashad Bateman, Michael Gallup. Like I said, this is all based on depth, and you want to see what's upside there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take. No, I don't want to do quarterback right now. And my defense is going to be my last pick. So let's look at wide receiver again. Look for upside. I'm going to take, let's see what's out here. I don't want to be a homer and take Antonio Brown either. Michael Gallup, I think he's a good value there. Let's see. Because I got a lot of good wide receivers, I'm gonna take a shot on Rashad Bateman. I know he's a rookie, but he's a guy that they drafted in the first round. He's a guy that they think highly of, and I think that with him being on a Ravens offense that now has Sammy Watkins, you have obviously J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Mark Andrews. I think that he's a chance that he can make some noise this year if given the opportunity based on that offense. But we know that they're more of a run-heavy offense. So opportunity-wise, I'd rather take a flyer right now than, now if I needed a wide receiver, I would get a name that I feel like would be more, prevalent there. But I have a pretty stacked wide receiver group. So to me, I like taking that chance on a rookie and see what happens. Let's see here. Let's go now at my 11-5. I got 3 more picks. All right, so this is where I'm going to look at quarterback now. Okay, I see what's available. Best available is Jamal Williams, Latavius Murray, Marvin Jones. It would make sense for me to have Latavius Murray because I have Alvin Kamara on my team, so it'd be nice to have his handcuff just in case. But I have enough. I feel like I have my depth there, so I don't really need to have to do that now. I feel like I have so many wide receivers. I'm going to go quarterback. When it comes to best available, I look at, Baker Mayfield's there. I think Baker Mayfield with the week 13 bye, I'm going to take a flyer on Baker Mayfield. I think he has a chance to have a good season based on just another season under that offense. Now they're able to get training camp in and having, the OTAs and everything. I feel like that's going to be a good opportunity for Baker Mayfield. So now, looking at best available at running back, let's see any guys with upside here. Like I said, Latavius Murray got taken already, so I'm not surprised by that. Unless I had Dalvin Cook, there's no reason to really draft Alexander Madison. Anybody with more upside here? You got Chuba Hubbard, which if Christian McCaffrey goes down, there's a guy there. Let's see. Todd Gurley hasn't signed with anybody yet. Yeah, running back wise, I'm not really feeling anybody on running back. I'm not drafting a second tight end. Let's see what's at wide receiver. We got T.Y. Hilton, Jalen Reagor, Mecole Hardman. Mecole Hardman has a chance to have a big season. Sammy Watkins goes to Baltimore, so I feel like Mecole Hardman here is a good pick. Kind of with some upside here. Same with Russell Gage, with Julio Jones going to Tennessee. Let's see. Any names that stick out that could be potential big upside guys? Yeah, I'm going to be reaching for a lot of these players. I didn't really see a lot of Jalen Reagor. A lot of talk with him last year, but really due to injury, didn't really do much. T.Y. Hilton with Carson Wentz could be a good duo. So between him and Mecole Hardman, I'm going to take Mecole Hardman just because I rather trust a guy that's an offense with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid than taking a guy that we don't know where Carson Wentz is going to be this year. I like Carson Wentz a lot. I think he has the potential to be a sleeper, but I'd rather take a guy like Mecole Hardman just because I know for sure that offense is, what the offense is. All right, now I got 2 more picks. So this is kind of a luxury pick for me. Since it's a half PPR league, it's one of those things where I like having this value here. Running back wise, really don't see much here that I would take right now. Kind of went through this already. Wide receiver, Cole Beasley, Russell Gage. I'm going ahead and I'm going to draft. I know I'm very heavy on wide receiver right now, but honestly, I think that Russell Gage has potential to do some damage here, right? So hopefully opportunities, right? You want a guy with opportunities, and with Julio Jones going to Tennessee, there's a chance that he could definitely be a good value pick there, And now it's my pick, and my team is there for a defense. So everyone knows I'm a Bucs fan. I think the defense is going to be outstanding what they did. But when it comes to the Washington football team, that's a tough decision. Like, I don't want to be a homer, but I just think that both picks there are going to be good. They got week 9. They both got week 9 bye weeks. Man, that's tough. I do like the pass rush to both teams. I mean, I love Chase Young. Man, this is a tough pick. You know what? I'm just gonna be a homer. I'm gonna take a Tampa Bay Bucs. All right, that's my drafts. All right, so finishing up, this is the roster, right? So I got at quarterback Baker Mayfield. My starting running backs right now are Alvin Kamara, Joe Mixon. Starting wide receivers are Keenan Allen, Julio Jones. My tight end is Logan Thomas. At the flex, I have a chance. I can have Adam Thielen there. I can have Mike Davis there. I can have Deebo Samuel there. My defense is the Bucs. But just looking at my bench, I got Mike Davis, Deebo Samuel, Michael Carter, Rashad Bateman, Mecole Hardman, Russell Gage. I don't think that's a bad, in a 12-team, half PPR, 1 quarterback league, I think it's a pretty solid roster. I mean, looking at some of the other rosters here, I mean, you got a team here that took Christian McCaffrey 1 and Justin Jefferson, and they took Patrick Mahomes 3rd overall. And then when you do that, I mean, you miss out on so many key players for your roster that I feel like that's a good, a good roster, solid roster. I feel like it's very balanced. I don't see any massive holes in my roster. I think that there's some very big upside guys there, but I don't think there's big holes. This team won, you got Christian McCaffrey, and then their other best running back is Ronald Jones, that's in a timeshare. Now, James Robinson, he's going to be in a timeshare. I mean, he should get the bulk of the carries, but he'll be getting off the field on 3rd down backs because they got a pass catching receiver they have in Etienne, right? So, I don't know. I think that you look at some of these rosters, and I do like, man, yeah, I feel like this is, this team right here, though, like, they went wide receiver heavy, team 10. Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Allen Robinson, Mike Evans, Brandon Ayuk, Tyler Lockett. I mean, that's too much, right? And then you got their starting running backs are going to be Leonard Fournette and Zach Moss, and then Tevin Coleman as a backup. If you're watching this and you're doing a mock draft, don't do this. This is what you should not do in your league: is pick 6 wide receivers with your first 6 picks. That's dumb. Don't do that. But yeah, there you have it. That's the first mock draft of 2021. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you think I did. Leave a comment below. Hit the like button, and we'll do another mock draft next week, and we'll see what our team comes up with that. Okay, so have a good day, and we'll see you on the next episode. Take care.